All right, back to the ongoing trial of the murder of former South African goalie, Bafana player Senzo Meyiwa. We told you earlier that the murder trial is still ongoing at the Pretoria High Court, where two new witnesses took to the stand. 5 men are on the stand, and last week the trial focused on the police officers who were present at the crime scene. The defense has argued that the crime scene was tampered with and contaminated, and that evidence might have been planted. I'm glad to say we now have South African lawyer and attorney Hart Elton, who joins us from Johannesburg. Hart, thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers up in the West.
All right. Let's get some context on all of this, on what happened last week. Witnesses, the defense are saying that the crime scene may have been tampered with. That's quite a serious allegation there. What are your thoughts on this?
No, indeed. If you look at it, how it works, when you as a police officer are called to a crime scene and you are the first person to arrive on that crime scene, and you can see from your own observation that a crime was committed, you need to secure the crime scene. Now, the first responders, Constable Matebula and Mtetwa, that arrived on the scene. They arrived on the crime scene. Then they thought it fit to actually leave the crime scene unattended, go to a hospital, and only returned like an hour or more so later. And then it allowed other people who is not police officers to go in and outside of the house. So for me, in terms of criminal law and the law of evidence, that speaks to a crime scene that was tampered with. And obviously, they left the house in the uncle of Kelu Kumalo's presence, who is a police officer, but it was not in his jurisdiction. So for me, the defense going after the state, saying that there was tampering with the evidence, and the state is trying very hard to show that the crime scene as it was left by the people that was in the house, the 7, was the same as when the police found it. And I find it very hard to believe that there was no tampering, because even there's witnesses, the Ngobenis, 2 of them will still come and testify if the state calls them, that will say they found one of the neighbors actually busy cleaning the house, picking up beer bottles and cans. So what the forensic analyst found cannot be seen as what the house was when the shooting actually took place.
Really sad one. Let's talk about the witnesses brought in today. As far as you can say, what is the relevance, in this case, if any? Because the police have already mentioned that the gun that was found in the house where accused person number 3 was residing is not linked to Senzo's murder. So what is the advocate Baloyi's game plan here in building his case?
What Advocate Baloyi, if you can remember nicely from the evidence, there was a bullet head, like the front part of the bullet was found somewhere on a cupboard in the house that they said it hit the door and it fell after behind the vases. Now that bullet is alleged to have been discharged by a gun that was found in the possession of accused number 3. So they want to say that because we found you with the gun and this bullet was discharged from this gun and this bullet was found on the crime scene, so they want to link, they want to use that to say, okay, you were found in possession of the gun, a bullet that came out of this gun was found on the crime scene, hence you needed to have been on the crime scene when this shooting of Senzo Meyiwa happened. So that's how they try to link him to the crime scene. We know already there was other evidence that was led that says the bullet that went into Senzo that actually caused the fatal wound was not fired from that gun. So, but now they want to say that he was one of the people, and also by calling the girlfriend to come and testify that he had dreadlocks at the time, to just say that one of the intruders from Zandile Kumelo and Thokozisi Twala and Tumelo Madlala said one of the intruders had dreadlocks. So they want to now link to say your bullet head is found in the house and you had dreadlocks at the time when you were arrested. So you must, on the evidence before court, the only reasonable inference is that you were the one that was in the house. And that is what I think Advocate Baloyi is trying to do for the state, to actually link accused number 3 to the crime scene. But I still think that the defense can poke holes into that of theory or that way or strategy that Advocate Baloyi is using.
Quite interesting. We'll keep keeping our eyes on this particular story, the trial of the very, very sad and unfortunate murder of South African former goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa. Thank you very much, Hart Elton.
Pleasure.